All right, well, you get the idea of that, so I'll move on. Another project that we have is, are you familiar with potato cannons? Where you can take a plastic tube and you put a potato in and you fill the end with propellant like hairspray or deodorant. And you can launch potatoes up to 100 yards or so, 100 meters or so. Well, this guy made one, and he used a clear plastic tube so that you can see the explosion. Thank you. You can see the explosion as it ignites. And he made a fun little video. So every time we do a project in the magazine, we show the layout of all the parts that you need, as if you're looking down on your workbench, and what you would have to do to get started to make a project like this. And we really want to kind of democratize the idea of letting anybody who's interested in making the projects in the magazine make them without having any prior experience whatsoever. So here's a video that the author did to promote this potato cannon of his.
Knock, knock. Guess who's my bagel boy today?
That's the guy's boss, and he doesn't like his boss.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you think you're doing? Hi, I'm Bill Gerstel. The Nightlighter 36 taser-ignited potato cannon is just one of the many fun and interesting projects you'll find in my new book, Whoosh, Boom, Splat. The Garage Warrior's Guide to Building Projectile Shooters. Available now, online, and at bookstores everywhere.
All right, so that's Bill. He writes a lot of great projects for us. He's an amazing guy. Another cool, we do a lot of projects with rockets just because rockets are amazing and they're fun and they're something that you can make easily at home. This is a rocket that you make from a water bottle, just a large water or a soft drink bottle, and you use a bicycle pump to compress the air in the bottle, and then the water squirts out. And it's got a parachute recovery. In every issue of the magazine, we have this kind of cartoon depiction of how the project works, so that you can get the idea of what's going on and what you need to do to make it, to put it together and use it. And so I have just a little video of these guys, the author, showing how he made his rocket and how his kids are involved.
Okay, guys, that looks good.
That's a little. We want 100 pounds, none of that wimpy little 60 stuff.
How much do you think this thing will hold?
Is it strictly more it propels?
I mean, it's a... The bottle is rated at 100, I think. Insert the retaining pin. Get the clip on. So we're going to go for 70 pounds.
Zooming in.
Get out of there, get out of there. Oh. Perfect.
So that's a fun little project. There's no electricity. There's not really much in the way of technology. It's just putting together household objects, basically, and you have this cool rocket. Now, this one does involve a little more technology. This is a little rocket with a small video camera. And the creator of this project used a disposable video camera that you can buy at a convenience store for $20 or so. And so he took the electronics out of it and put it into a small traditional hobby rocket. And then when you launch the rocket, you can see a video of the rocket from the rocket's view. And here's just a little video that he shot. It's kind of swinging around wildly right now. And this is an example of taking technology that someone would normally throw away, like a video cassette recorder, which people don't really use that much anymore because everybody uses DVDs. And he hooked it up to a sausage grinder and put a funnel in it, and now he can feed his cat by pouring food into the hopper up there, and then using the programming features of the video cassette recorder to dispense food at regular intervals. You can kind of see the way it works there. So you can set it to feed, if you go away for the weekend or the evening or something, you can set the feeder to dispense food at a certain time of day. This is a drive-in movie theater that my friend made. It's a little hard to see, but that's a large adult tricycle. And on the back, he's mounted a video projector. And you can then drive this thing around the neighborhood and go up to people's sides of their houses and show movies. Here's a little kind of schematic of how the thing works. So now I want to backtrack a little bit and take a look at what the world of making and the do-it-yourself movement was like before the internet. And so the first thing I want to look at is farmers and why farmers are such an important part of this movement. In the turn of the last century, in 1900, 80% of the people in the United States either lived on farms or worked on farms. That's out of 100 million people total population. So there were 80 million people working and living on farms. And in order to live or work on a farm, you really have to be very handy. You have to learn, you have to be innovative, you have to be resourceful, you have to be able to repair equipment, you have to be able to use shop tools. All these factors come into play because you're often far away from a service center, if there's one at all. The conditions on your farm change frequently, and they're different from other farms, so you really had to improvise. Compare that to today, where fewer than 2% of the people in the United States work on farms, and they aren't required to have that kind of skill level any longer. These are just a few examples of some of the kinds of machinery that farmers were using and making and fixing in those days. And if you look at the farm equipment catalogs, which I like to go through, you see these amazing components for all sorts of purposes. And I can just imagine a farmer from 1910 going through this, picking out parts to create his hay moving and storing shed that you see in that middle picture on the top. So what happened when you had 80 million people who were really great at making things? When they were done working in the evening, they had all these skills, and they started doing things with those skills for fun, for recreation, and to do something fulfilling and rewarding in their personal lives. And so to serve that need, there was a new crop of these magazines that were hobbyist magazines to show farmers and other people with skills how to use these to do things for fun. And the guy who was the kind of pioneer in this publishing field was named Hugo Gernsback. And you might know him as the father of science fiction. He created a magazine called Amazing Stories, which is like the big science fiction magazine that kind of kicked off the whole sci-fi revolution. But what's not as well known is that he created a whole bunch of these really cool hobby DIY magazines, including one that was started in 1913 called the Electrical Experimenters. And then he had one called the Experimenter, Science and Invention, Radiocraft, Everyday Mechanics.